A second. A maintenance worker failed to tighten a bolt on a car wheel by just one more turn, a single second, a single twist, yet on the road, in motion, it comes loose and causes an accident, a catastrophe, death. One tiny twist, the matter of a second, takes the lives of dozens. So do we know the value of a second in our world? Why did he not tighten that bolt by one more turn? What was he thinking in those moments? Was his action, or rather inaction, affected by another second in our world? Like a mosaic of universes, they follow one another, containing within themselves eternity and absolute fullness, birthing light from light, bringing everything out of nothing and from the void, all. A second. It is our past, future, and present. In this world, all is predestined, every process already inscribed in the book of the universe, which the ancients came to call the book of fates. Everything has been calculated and measured from the beginning of the world to its end. If you know how to see, you will metaphysically perceive events long before they occur, just as one can calculate the motion of a star in the universe, the processes on the sun, the trajectory of thrown objects. Possessing metaphysical knowledge, you become master over all matter and the material world, for by understanding the processes embedded in its foundation, you can govern and thus control them. Thus, it is possible not only to determine future objective events and processes, but also the subjective ones, what a person thinks and feels. If you possess the information held in a second, in all aspects, realms, and dimensions of being, then you will know what will occur in the next second, for you will be able to see the processes and events born of the previous one. Our world is a precisely calibrated mathematical combination, and the code to it is accessible to you, though not everyone has the vision to metaphysically perceive it. A second. But what is a second? How to define its boundaries and grasp what it is? Is it possible at all, while dwelling within its borders, its space and limits? It can only be grasped by breaking out of them, just as you remain in the hold of a ship, which in your perception seems motionless. You cannot comprehend the material processes that demand your direct physical attention, for to understand them, you must leave the medium that hinders such understanding, and so it is with time. To comprehend its nature, you must go beyond its limits. That is the very result of the great work. The philosopher's stone, the touch of the eternal, the ability to see and to behold. Strip this world of time, remove the units by which it is measured. Will anything change in it? Will certain processes cease to occur, like birth and death, tides and ebbs, the change of day and night? Surely not, but we, without that definition and our own interpretation of it, would be unable to systematize and structure our lives. The world does not need time, it is needed only by man, existing for millennia within the bounds of water-time. We, like fish people, fail to perceive its true nature, for it is already part of our world view, undoubtedly passed down not only from generation to generation, but flowing with our blood. This world was perfectly understood only by the one who created time, for he knew precisely what existed before its creation. All the people and generations that followed, as well as the world itself, are the result of his creation, for by creating time, he also created a complex mathematical structure, an enigma, a lock for which he, I believe, never possessed the key or code, for time is a human creation more latent and chaotic than consciously crafted. Like those fish in water, we see all material things, stones, algae, other fish, but the very essence and nature in which we exist, as if in ether, we cannot comprehend, cannot taste, for it is a part of us and of our human cosmos, not a natural one. A second. That is what my art is, a life of the ephemeral butterfly. Yet what processes occurred for it to arise, and what processes will it give rise to? To most who gaze upon my work, my style and tone are unappealing. They deem it deliberately convoluted and intricate. But is any structure made of all identical, precisely matched pieces? Does a mosaic attract the eye through sameness? That structure must be just as it is created, many will not understand, nor is it necessary for them to. Language and style set the point, the threshold of entry into the temple. It is a kind of ticket to a ceremonial event. Without it, one cannot be inside. You will never grasp the beauty of that temple, its labyrinths and vaults, if you have not crossed its threshold. Yes, it is not easy, but is the philosopher's stone lying on every corner of every road in this world? Does everyone grasp God? One must undergo initiation, and eternal knowledge will be granted only to the one who truly desires it, and who seeks to comprehend this world, the code of the universe. The keys to creation are not simply given. Everything must be paid for, sometimes with reason, sometimes with soul, sometimes with genius, and sometimes with madness. Hundreds of thousands of great minds thirsted to touch the truth, yet it deprived them of reason and often of life, for they approached the process unprepared. But my pen allows the one who thirsts eternally to drink, without threat to life or mind, from that vital moisture flowing from the very center of the universe. A second. It is one of the elements, the objects, the atoms that together form the ever-moving conveyor belt. We humans dwell upon it, and it bears us ever onward into the depths of infinity, into an unknowable distance for the seeing one. You may run forward on it, you may try to move backward, to slow it down, but what will its motion be? It will remain unchanged. A second. It holds as many interpretations, definitions, and explanations as there are atoms in the universe, for it is its man-made metaphysical atom. There is no past, nor future. The second is our life, a moment between voids, a bridge over two abysses, which itself is built and sustained by emptiness. And it is this emptiness that holds the truth. The bridge is the mind's attempt to save itself, giving everything definition and explanation. Yet the truly seeing one knows that the mind is our greatest traitor, a liar seeking profit in all. It constantly limits us like a mediocre ruler, a plain despot, and then, slightly expanding the borders, shows us what it claims are the greatest gifts and miracles. The invention of the telescope and microscope, clocks, and the like. All of this, supposedly the mind's greatest offerings that expand the bounds of our essence, are pitiful instruments which, compared to the true abilities and possibilities of man, are nothing. No one in this world limits man as much as he himself does. For him, the universe is the greatest enigma. Simply because he cannot explain or define all within it, he seeks ways, never suspecting that these very ways lead him further from the essence and the center of creation. Only metaphysical action and physical inaction can bring him closer to the truth.